Testing, testing. Yep, we got sound. We got picture. Everything's good. Okay, so you'll notice on this periodic table, the metals and the nonmetals are separated by the dark black line. We're going to ignore the fact that there are metalloids that exist. We're just going to treat everything to the left as a metal, everything to the right as a non-metal. Are we good with that? Okay. And if you want to do enriched credit for this unit, you will not eventually, I mean, you can have them right now, but eventually you need to be able to do this being given a periodic table with no charges on it. Just like this. Does anyone see any charges anywhere? No. If you don't want to do enriched, you can know what the charges are. You can have them on your table. So if you would like to, at this point, charges. I mean, what are the charges of the ions in group 1? So if you know that already and you don't think you need to write it down, don't write it down. But if you're like, I don't know what the charges of all the group 1 ions are, then you can write it down. And then later, if you want to transition to a periodic table without the charges, I can give you another copy. Okay? So I usually suggest for people that, use what you need to until you don't need to anymore. Do you know what I mean? Like if you need those charges there, use them. And then when you don't need them, then you can get rid of them. And if you need them all the way through the test, that's fine. You just won't get the enriched credit, but that's all right. No problem. What are the charges of ions in group 1? Tell your partner what you think. Group 1. How many valence electrons in group 1? 1. So what does it want to do? Does it want to gain or lose? Wants to lose. If it loses 1 electron, what charge does it become? +1. So I'm going to put that up here. These are +1. So the group 1 ions are +1. Group 2, what's the charge of group 2 ions? +2. Now, the elements 21 and onward were not things that we did Bohr models for, but they still follow a pattern. Can anyone guess what the charge of group 3 might be? Yes, +3. And then as we continue to move across, we hit what I like to call the red zone. I know it looks more like pink, but if you make it really red, then you can't see the names of the elements underneath. So this is the red zone on your periodic table. And the red zone are kind of weird. They can have different charges depending on who they're with, what they're doing. Okay, so in the red zone, we use Roman numerals to tell us the charge. So in the red zone, we use Roman numerals, and the Roman numeral tells us what the charge is. of the ion. Now, while we are here, do you guys know the Roman numerals for 1 through 6? No, okay. I'm going to teach you the Roman numerals for 1 through 6. And we're going to put them on here. Okay? 1 is really easy. These are our Roman numerals. One is I. Two. Anyone want to guess? I. And we attach them like that. Anyone want to take a guess at 3? I. Okay, now we have 4, 5, and 6. And we're going to do 5 first because 4 and 6 are related to 5. Does anyone know what 5 is? Hernan? V. And 4 is 1 before 5. So we put a 1 before a 5. So 1 before 5. What do you think 6 is going to be? 1 after 5. And I don't think you actually need it, but let's do 7 just in case. Can you guess what 7 is? 2 after 5. So those are your Roman numerals. So what you'll see is you'll see something like iron, 3. And that means you have an iron ion. Can you guess what the charge is? 3 plus. Yeah? What if I gave you iron 2? What would that be? Fe2 plus. Okay, so those are the Roman numerals, and you will be expected to memorize them, but like I said, 1 is I, and then if you know 5 is V, then 1 before 5 is 4, I before V, 1 after 5 is 6, and 2 after 5 is 7. Okay, so those are the only ones you need to know. But if you needed to do 8, it is 3 after 5, the I. All right, so those are the Roman numerals, and we will come to those a little bit later, but I thought I would introduce them to you now so that you know what you're looking at and they are on your periodic table. There's another set of things that you need to know that, again, now let's see, where would be a good place to write this? Maybe we could do it down at the bottom. Okay, we have prefixes. And can you guess what the prefix for 1 is? You already know it. Mono. Whoops. 2. You know this one already as well. What's 2, everybody? Di. 3. Tri, like a tricycle. 4. Now this one's weird. Has anyone ever played Tetris? Tetris is made of 4 pieces that are made of 4 squares stuck together. So 4 is tetra. But if you've never played Tetris, you might just need to memorize that one. Okay? Like there's not really something that's not an easy one to remember. It just means that you'll have to work a little harder to memorize that one. Now the other ones are just like your shapes that you may have learned in math. What is a 6-sided shape? Hexagon. Hex. Oh no, sorry, I said 6-sided shape. I meant, what's a 5-sided shape? A pentagon. Penta. 6 is hexa. 7 is hepta. 8 is octa. 9 is nona. Nona. Sounds like some language for grandma. I'm sure there's a language where nona is grandma. And then 10 is deca. So you will be expected to memorize the prefixes. You will be expected to memorize the Roman numerals. So when you do a quiz, I'm going to let you use either a periodic table without the charges listed, or with the charges listed. That's up to you. That's your choice. But the periodic table you get for quizzes will not include the Roman numerals, and it will not include the prefixes. Okay, so you need to memorize those. And I would say that for Thursday, we're going to have a quiz on the prefixes, but you can write it as many times as you want to. And literally, it's going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And you will need to write, beside the 1 you will write, mono. Beside the 2 you'll write, di. 3, tri. 4, tetra. 5, penta. 6, hexa. 7, hepta. 8, octa. 9, nona. And 10, deca. And I don't expect that necessarily, because you're studying for your tests tonight, I don't think you're probably going to study for this. I don't expect that necessarily you will do perfect on this on Thursday, but you can write it again on Friday. It's merely a matter of making sure that you've written it down enough times that you end up memorizing it. Yes? Okay? And say it out loud to yourself, kind of thing. Okay? So, this periodic table is going to be your friend. We also have other charges that we know. we should know the charge of group 17. How many electrons are on the valence shell of group 17? 7. So what does it want to do? Take 1 electron. So what would its charge be? -1. Because we have 7 electrons in the valence shell, that's a neutral atom. We add 1 more electron, which is negative. Yes? So we have -1. Yes? Cool. Group 16. What charge do you think it'll be? -2, because it has 16 has 6 electrons in the valence shell, so it wants to gain 2 electrons. Those 2 electrons are negative, so its charge is 2 minus. -2. And how about group 15? 15 has how many valence electrons? 5. How many does it want to gain? 3. If it gains 3 electrons, it becomes 3 minus. Okay? Now there's one more little group of atoms where you need to know the charge. Okay, so we've got group 1, 2, 3, we've got group 17, 16, 15, and then we have this little staircasey region in here. If you want to color this, you can. Are those little, is that little staircasey region, are they metals or are they non-metals? They're metals. So when they become ions, do they become positive or do they become negative? They become positive. We're going to worry about boron later, okay? Now, they're going to become positive. Some of them are going to become +1. Some are going to become +2. Some are going to be +3. Now, I'd like you to look at this. And being as this is easy to learn, if you're good at, memorizing things, can you guess what the charge of silver is? There's just one of them. Is it +1, +2, or +3? What would make the most sense if I was telling you it's easy to memorize? +1, because there's only 1 in that column. What about zinc and cadmium? How many are there here? 2 of them. What do you think the charge is? +2. Cadmium is +2. Anyone want to guess what aluminum, gallium, and indium are? There's 3 of them. +3. Okay. So when I tell you that learning the charges is as easy as 1, 2, 3, I literally mean it. We have 1, 2, 3. Yes? We have 1, 2, 3. And over on the left-hand side, we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so if you're good at visualizing patterns, this should not be too difficult. Like I said, though, if you're not good at that kind of thing, it's okay. You can use your periodic table with the charges written on it. Okay? And for manganese, Mn, uh-oh, it's in the middle there. I don't know its charge. What would I have to do? I would have to say, oh, somebody's going to give me a Roman numeral and that'll tell me what it is. Okay? I will tell you what it is. I'll tell you it's iron 3. It's iron 3 plus. It's iron 2. It's 2 plus. It's manganese. Oh my gosh, manganese has so many charges. Manganese can be plus 2. It can be plus 3. It can be plus 4. It can be plus 5. It can be plus 6. It can be plus 7. Whew. So you really need to look at those Roman numerals and figure out which one it is just from looking at the Roman numeral. Okay? It's crazy. Okay. So that gets us set up for that. That's our periodic table. And of course, on the back of our periodic table, we still have the elements listed in alphabetical order. Yes? So if you need them in alphabetical order, they are alphabetical order on the back. Now, let us take a look at is that what I want? No, I want my title page. Do I have my title page? Yes, I do. So let's look at our new workbook and look at the, actually this is the answer key. This is the answer key. So look at your answer key workbook. Answer key to your workbook. Now, one thing you're going to notice here is that some of the answers are in the answer key, but some of them are not. Okay, so if you're like, I can't find the answers to 4.1a, it tells you that they are simply in the workbook on page 9. Okay, so in the answer key, sometimes because it just saved on paper, because the answers are very short, I just put them right in the worksheet itself. Okay? And then, what the heck and heck happened to my cover page? That's okay. I'll go to this one, because it's probably the same. There we go. Their table of contents. Okay. Now, this is our workbook now, so we're looking on the front page of our workbook. There's some information here. When you finish a worksheet, and 4.1a is a worksheet, 4.1b is a worksheet, 4.1c is a worksheet. Whenever you finish a worksheet, so if you finish a worksheet with a bolded quiz, you are going to write the quiz. So you can underline this if you want to. If you finish a worksheet and it has a bolded quiz, you're going to write the quiz. So let's go and find an example of where that happens. 4.1a. Look, it says quiz 1. Yes? When you're finished 4.1a, you can write quiz 1. This is going to be a bit of a self-paced unit. That being said, if you are fast, you may be able to finish it all ahead of time and do the enriched stuff and just go, go, go. If you are on the slow end of things, I am going to hound you because we cannot spend forever doing this. You cannot get to the test date and not be up to date. Okay, so if you plan on being slow, if you plan on sitting around and goofing off while other people are working, then you will fall behind and you will do very poorly. And that's going to carry on into next year, because next year, if you don't know how to do this, you will not be able to do balancing equations. Okay? They expect you to know this in grade 10. So if you don't learn it properly this year, you are screwed, not to put too fine a point on it. Okay? Really. I cannot stress this enough. If you are having any problems, it was really nice last year because we had flex every day. And I saw people come in, sometimes if they were having trouble, they would come in for flex every day and just get caught up on their quizzes. You may have to make a sacrifice and come in on your lunch break or after school because we don't have flex every day.
Wait, will you really change the schedule back to normal?
They will not.
Oh.
They might do the 5-period schedule.
You know what? I'm not worrying about anything until I see the whites of its eyes, right? I'm like, I'm not even thinking about that until they confirm, right? It's not, I stressed out about it last year. I can't stress about it again. I'm like, whatever. If it happens, whatever. Now, how do you self-pace these things? Shh. It is a self-service quiz. So what you'll find is that when you want to select a quiz, you will walk to the back of the room. Okay? And you are going to see a tab that says 1A. That's quiz number 1A. Okay? And in order to get quiz 1A, they're not in front of 1A, they are behind 1A. So you have to go 1A, pull it forward, and there's your quiz. Where will you find the quiz? In front or behind? Well, absolutely. I just saw you didn't say it because you're sitting close to me. Okay, so you have to go behind. And if you want 1B, you have to go behind 1B. Now, if you do well on quiz 1A, you're done with quiz 1. 1B, 1C, 1D, ignore them. You're done with quiz 1. If you don't get 6 out of 6 on quiz 1A, you can do quiz 1B, which covers the same material but just has different compounds. Okay? So you can go and you'll be like, oh, I got it back. I got 3 out of 6 because I made a stupid mistake 3 times. And you can go in here and you can get quiz 1B. All right? And there's a 1C and a 1D. I don't imagine for quiz 1 you're going to have much trouble because you actually already know how to do quiz 1. If I said we have a compound made of aluminum and oxygen, made out of aluminum and oxygen, what would its name be? Aluminum oxide. So you already know how to do quiz 1. Okay? Yep. And it can be, as long as you're like careful and meticulous, like with your work, and you can, you know, do things over and over. It's a nice little unit. Okay? Yeah. So that's how that works. Yes. We can do that quiz today. Okay? But I want to finish explaining how this works first. So quiz number 2 is 4.1b. Quiz number 3 is 4.1c. And then we get to this section here. We have 4.1d. And you'll notice, is this little quiz here bolded? No. It is in italics and it is light. That means you're not ready to write the quiz yet. Okay? You have to do 4.1D and 4.1E to be ready for quiz number 4. Now let's say you didn't do very well on quiz number 4. There's extra practice. So that's why there's quiz number 4 after you've done quiz 4. And you do not need to do the extra practice if you already did well on quiz number 4. Okay? All right, let's see. Is there anything else in here that really matters? If you get to 4.2, I need to give you another sheet that lists all the names of all the polyatomic ions. Okay? But we're not going to get there today, so I'm not going to worry about giving that out to you today. Okay? I'll photocopy and get it out to you tomorrow or something. No, you're writing your test tomorrow. I'll get it to you on Thursday. Okay? Probably at the beginning of every class, I'm going to have a lesson to make sure that everybody is at least up to a certain point, right? Everybody has to have completed quiz number 2 at least once by say Thursday. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What? Yeah, literally. Like you need to have done quiz 2 by Thursday. Okay?
This Thursday?
This Thursday. We're going to do quiz 1 today. Okay? And the quizzes are short. There's 6 questions each. Okay? Unless you get to some of the enriched stuff and then there's some more. There's like 7 question quizzes. But they are short and they are fast. I do have people from time to time who cheat. Because I don't make you put up dividers. I don't, sit there and watch you and see if you're copying from your friend or whatever. Do I care? No. I mean, I do because you're hurting yourself, because on the test, you don't get to redo the test. You get to do corrections on your test, but if you have cheated all your way through, then chances are you are going to fail the test, because that's generally how it goes. If you don't learn it, you do really bad, because if you don't learn it, it's not like you can fake your way through it. Okay, this is not a fake your way through it kind of a unit. So if you cheat your way through and you don't bother learning and you're like, I don't know what happened on quiz 3, but I don't care because I got a 6 because I copied my friends, then you're just going to do very poorly on the test and life will be bad and you'll be able to do corrections and it might get you to an emerging. Okay? So don't do that. Like I said, up to you whether you cheat or not, but it's not my problem, it's your problem. It's kind of my problem because I want you to do well. I want you to do well next year too, which is why I make such a big deal out of this. Yeah? I don't make a big deal because I don't care. I make a big deal because I do want you to do well. Okay? All right. I think that is all we need to talk about. So we are going to very, very quickly take a look at stuff for quiz number 1 and stuff for quiz number 2. When we are finished both of those, then you can write quiz number 1 if you want to today. Okay? This is on page, I should get my updated copy. Fall 2025, there we are. This is on page 8.
Do you want me to hand out?
No, they get to get them themselves. Yeah. And they need to learn how to get them themselves. You can help them if they have trouble finding them though, okay? Yeah. Okay, look at the review we're doing for your test tomorrow. Ooh. Okay. Ionic compounds are made of cations, and they are stuck to anions. Okay, so our ionic compounds, they're made of cations, which are positive. They're made of anions, which are negative. And they're stuck together in a crystal lattice, 3-dimensional structure. If we wanted to draw it in 2 dimensions, what would we do? We would go plus, and then beside it we would put minus. And then we would put plus, and then we would put minus. And then we would put minus, then we'd put plus, and then minus, and then plus. And I'd probably draw one more row, but I'm too tired to do it right now. Yes? Even if you did that on your test tomorrow, I would be okay with that. Yes? How do we know that we have an ionic compound? Yes. It's made of ions, and you have to have a metal plus a, metal has an L on it. What do we put a metal with? Non-metal. Which one comes first? The metal comes first. Okay, so we have a metal plus a non-metal. And that's how we know that it is ionic. Is this a pure substance or a mixture? Pure substance, because it is a compound. Again, review for tomorrow's test. For this unit, you're not going to have to draw this, okay, for the upcoming unit, but, you know, for the last unit, maybe. Here we have sodium, and we have chloride, and we have drawn only the valence electrons. Sodium has 1. Chlorine has an empty spot, so sodium gives its electron to chlorine. And that means that now sodium has a positive charge, and chloride, because it's got that 1 extra electron, it has a negative charge. What is that? What's that red thing there? That is the electrostatic attraction. And that particular electrostatic attraction is called what? It's between the sodium ion and the chloride ion. That is an ionic bond. That electrostatic attraction is the ionic bond. Again, this is review for your test. And the rest of it's pretty straightforward. You guys know how to do this. The cation's name stays the same. The metal comes first. And you just name it. You don't do anything with its name. The nonmetal comes second. And you change the ending to "ide." How many syllables? 2 syllables. So take your first syllable, take everything else off, and put "ide" on the end. And I do want you, I will, unless I know you have like special dispensation for spelling, there's like 1 or 2 of you, I will take off marks if you misspell your elements. Half a mark for misspelling. Because you have your periodic table. You can literally read it and copy it. If you find that this is too small for you to read and you would like a bigger copy of the periodic table, let me know. I can get you one. Okay? I'll just make it on the big paper. Yeah? Not many people want them because they're like, I don't want to carry around this big piece of paper, but you can fold it in half and then it's just a regular sized piece of paper. Okay. So never, ever, ever fluoride. Okay? It's not like you're not making a cake. It's not fluoride. It's fluoride. Fluoride, fluoride. Okay, and it's also not fluoride without a U.
Wait,
It's UO, fluoride.
It's like the flu that we have.
Yeah, it's like the flu. Okay? Which one do we like, oxygen or oxide? Which one do we like, nitrogen or nitride? Do we like phosphoride or phosphide? Phosphide. Do we like hydrogen or hydride? Hydride. Always 2 syllables. Okay? We're just not going to worry about the rest of that. There is some practice here. We're not going to do that right now. We are going to move on to binary covalent compounds, which is on page 10. Do you want me to go back?
No, that's good.
Okay. Now you'll notice that we keep referring to binary compounds. How many elements do you think binary compounds are made from? 2 elements. So when we had ionic compounds, the 2 elements were a metal and a non-metal. But when we have a covalent compound, what is it made of? What types of elements? Non-metal plus non-metal. Again, this is review for your test tomorrow, but it will also come in handy here because quiz number 3 is when I start mixing up covalent and ionic, and you have to decide which naming system to use. They each have different naming systems. So you have to recognize, do I have a metal and a non-metal? It's ionic. I use this naming system. Do I have non-metal, non-metal? It's covalent. I use this other naming system. Covalent bonds form when elements do what with their electrons? Share. So here we have oxygen, which has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It needs 2 more, so it is going to share with this little hydrogen here, and it's going to share with this little hydrogen here. And we've got that little lovely thing there. What kind of a thing do we call this here? That is a covalent bond. What type of covalent bond? That is a single covalent bond because it's sharing 2 electrons. Yeah? And we have filled the shell. Oxygen now has 8 electrons, so it has a complete ooh, I'm running out of room here. That's not good. Can't have that run into that. It has a complete octet. Does hydrogen need an octet? No, it only needs 2. So they share electrons in order to get a full shell of 8 electrons, or 2 for hydrogen. That is a very, what kind of arrangement? Stable. Ooh, we already asked this, but what the heck, why not again? What types of elements do covalence bonds form between? Non-metal, non-metal. What do we call the particles that form when covalent bonds, when elements covalently bond? Molecules. And in fact, there are 2 names for covalent compounds. They are called covalent compounds. They are also called molecular compounds. You'll hear both. I tend to use covalent because that way it's consistent with the type of bonding. But if you hear molecular, that also means it's a covalent compound. Those 2 mean the same thing. If you have a molecule in which all the atoms are the same, we have a molecule of an, like what do we call all of these things here? Those are molecules of elements. When there are different types of atoms, we have a molecule of a compound. And we're not going to worry about elements anymore because you guys are good at naming elements. You just look it up in the periodic table and go, oxygen. Oh, hydrogen. Yes? So we're not going to worry about naming elements. So do you remember how we just did like sodium chloride, potassium bromide, aluminum oxide? See, simple, simple, simple. Do you remember the prefixes that we learned at the beginning of the block? See if you can write them down for yourself, 1 through 10. Actually, maybe I should do it going across this way. That makes more sense.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the one. Tetra. Penta. Hesa. Petra? Yes. Petra. Octa. No. Sorry, no,
So you just write them down. One is mono.
Okay.
I'll let you guys finish the rest of them before we go over it together.
Oh, we wrote hetra. What is hetra? I feel like that's something else.
Tetra?
Hetra.
There's no hetra.
Exactly. Hetra. Okay, I need to like remember that. Except for no, which I wrote like double.
Okay, one is mono, two is di, three is tri, four is tetra, five is penta, six is hexa, seven is hepta. People tend to get 6 and 7 mixed up, but 6 has an X and hex has an X. So 7 is hepta, 8 is octa, 9 is nona, sorry. 10 is deca.
That's why I keep saying deca.
So ionic compounds, what kind of a compound do I have here? I've got calcium and fluorine. Is that ionic or covalent? Calcium is a metal. Fluorine is a non-metal. So we just call it calcium fluoride. Easy, easy, easy. Okay? What is copper? Copper is a metal. Fluoride is a non-metal. And copper is in the red zone, which means that you don't know what its charge is unless I tell you, yes? So, or actually later on you'll be able to figure it out. But that comes later. Okay, so don't worry about that right now. Right now I'm just going to tell you that you have copper 2 fluoride. Okay? Because it's in the red zone. Did calcium have a Roman numeral? Do you see a Roman numeral? No, that's because calcium is not in the red zone. We only use Roman numerals for elements in the red zone. And there's no nonmetals in the red zone. So the Roman numeral is always like a middle name, and it goes in brackets in the middle of the name. Okay? So these are all both ionic because it's metal and nonmetal. Now what about CO2? What is C? Carbon. Is carbon a metal or a nonmetal? Non-metal. How about oxygen? Also non-metal. So what type of compound do we have?
Covalent.
That is a covalent compound. And we are going to learn that covalent compounds use those prefixes. Look at that. How many oxygens do we have in carbon dioxide? There are 2. And guess what we call it? We call it carbon dioxide. Yeah? Phosphorus, metal or non-metal? Phosphorus is a non-metal. Fluorine is a non-metal. And so we do use prefixes. What's the prefix for 2? Di. So we say diphosphorus. We have 6-fluorine. What is the prefix for 6? Hexa. Hexafluoride. So our endings of the second word still change to "ide." Do the endings of the first word change? No. Yes. Why is phosphorus first? Because it is less electronegative. Which, if you remember what that means, that's great. And if you don't, talk to me later. Okay? Usually it's the one that is further left on the periodic table comes first. Okay? But you won't have to worry about it because I'm going to give it to you. I will either give you the name and whichever one comes first, or I'll give you the formula and whichever one comes first. Okay? Okay. So when we name the second element, we still change the ending to "ide", just like we did for the ionic compounds. Ionic compounds, we change the ending of the second word to "ide". Ionic, we change the ending of the second word to "ide". And again, you'll notice potassium is not in the red zone. So what don't we use? We don't use a Roman numeral. Iron is in the red zone. So we do use a Roman numeral. There's a reason I chose red, because red starts with the letter R, and what does Roman numeral start with? R. So if it's in the red zone, it needs a Roman numeral. If it's not in the red zone, no Roman numeral. We also have, here we have a P. Is that metal or non-metal? That is a non-metal. Chloride is a non-metal. So what kind of compound is that? Covalent. That means if it's covalent, we use the prefixes. If it's ionic, no prefixes. So ionic, no prefix. No dyes, no monos, no nothing. Okay? So the moment you have a metal, no prefixes. If you have a metal, are there prefixes? No. If you have a metal, are there prefixes? No. Because the compound, if it's ionic, it has a metal. And it doesn't matter whether you're looking at the metal part or the non-metal part, there's no prefixes in ionic compounds. But in covalent compounds, yes, prefix. Ionic, no prefix. Covalent, yes, prefix. Uh-oh. There's supposed to be prefixes. There's nothing there. Why do you think that might be? Because there's just one of them. Okay? If there's just one, now you might say, hang on, you told me the prefix for one is mono. Oh, that's because we do use mono on the second word. This is one of the things that's irritating about covalent words, covalent compounds. We don't use mono on the first word. We do use mono on the second word. So if you don't want to write this quiz till Friday, I will say it's okay if you don't write this quiz till Friday, because it's complicated. Okay? No mono on the first word. Yes, mono on the second word. Yeah? No mono first word, yes mono second word. Now, I think what would be nice is if we left these covalent compounds for a little bit. We'll continue with them on Thursday. Okay, but what I would like you to do right now is I would like you to do enough of page 9 to feel good about writing the quiz number 1. And if you are able to write quiz 1 today, that's great. If not, you can write it on Thursday. So do page 9. You don't have to do all of it. If you feel like you can just go write the quiz right now, you can just go write the quiz right now because it's a pretty easy one. But remember, these are all ionic. So do you need prefixes? No. So quiz number 1 is all ionic. And when you are done the quiz, if you're writing the quiz, you can either bring it to me for marking or you can bring it to Patrick for marking. And then when you're done, if Patrick marks it, bring it to me so I can record it. Okay? All right? And like I am a little wound up about spelling, so you're going to get my eye if it's misspelled. Okay? Watch out.
Okay.
1 T, 2 S's. Not the other way around. Okay, this is PH or out. This one is only PH. Okay, yeah. So, and no oxidides, no nitrides, no nitroids. Okay, so like be careful when you look at the spelling because it's not as obvious as I've done it for so many years. 4 years. 4 years I've done the less compounds, so I can see them immediately, but yes, but you should be able to do it right now. Oh, you already finished? Have you done the quiz? Why don't you do the quiz?
Okay, because on the phone, I'm not going to do it.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Yeah.
And when I come back, I should be able to take, like, I might need 2 classes. I need to take.
Yeah, and like I said, if you need to come in at lunch or after school or anything, I can help you with that, yeah.
I have You have done 40 years with compounds. I have done at least 40 months with compounds.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because it is exactly 40 years because I was 14 when I did them. I did them in grade 9. It was a grade 9 topic back then too. And now I'm 54. So 40 years.
Yep. Yep.
People are like, how do you mark them so fast? I'm like, because it's just like reading. It's like reading words.
Yep.
Ooh, and, that, cat, bat, hat.
Yeah. Cation and ion.
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're done with the quizzes, bring it to the small little table over here. Yep, yep, yep.
Yeah. So if you have finished or you feel ready, go help yourself to a quiz 1. Okay? You can use your periodic table. Hello. All
You
right.
shouldn't mark it now.
Yep.
Should I do 1B as well?
No. If you want to, you can now go ahead and like start reading through 1B and just get all the little finer points. You can read about them and start on that. Or you can just be like, oh, it's 5 to 3 and I don't care. Yeah? Up to you.
All right.
Yeah. Ken. Okay, I'm going to try. Now, I know this is an issue for you, but I'm going to try. It's I-D-E.
I know, Ken told me,
So
yeah.
small, big, small.
Yeah.
Small, big, small. So why don't you
Wait,
just
wait.
write them out one more time with the corrected ones,
Okay.
but I'll give you 6 out of 6, okay? That is... All right, I will mark that for you right now. No flowerheads. Nitron, 5.5 out of 6.
Can I move on to the next one?
Yeah,
Or I
if
have
you
to
want.
get 6 out of 6?
You don't have to get 6 out of 6. You can be like, I feel okay with that. Okay? Hudson, that was it.
Flower.
I used to listen to it. I used to do that. Go home with the bed.
One T, 2 S's in potassium.
Oh.
Hello. There you go. All right. Lithium fluoride, sulfide. Yay! Miriam. All right. Woohoo! So we got lithium. Yes, thank you, Malia. Malia. Yay! Okay, you can have it back. You get to keep it. Hi? Okay, and we don't put the brackets.
Oh, so that cut off the mark?
Oh, why do you have a quiz 4A? Was it in with the 1As? You want a 1A.
The answer keys or like
Oh, for the unit? I will get more. Thank you very much. Samaya, there you go. Hello.
yes, my spelling is
Emily.
Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Amaya.
My dad quickly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Mono goes on the second word, but not the first word. Okay. And we drop the O before the A.
So it's just pentoxide.
Yeah.
Okay.
6. So those are like the little details I was talking about. You might want to read about them in there. Yeah. Hello, lithium fluoride. Yay! Thank you, Laura. Hi. Yeah. Laura Wang. There you go. Hello.
Scared.
Yes. Woohoo! Thank you. All right. Hello.
I thought I was going to make
Thank you very much, Sophia.
all the keys I do.
Hello.
I don't even know if I did the last one. I think I have to go get everyone's phones because it's my job, I guess.
There you go, Vivian Robinson. There you go. Hello. Very nice. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you, Hernan.
Yeah, the speed.
I know, right?
40. You got a 6 Jennifer.
You just forgot an H.
What? Where?
Hello.
Very nice. There's 3 minutes left of class. Start
Oops.
a
Thank you very much. Hello. Wonderful. Yes, 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 yes. Do you like this unit better?
Better than the last one.
Better than the last one? Excellent.
Oh, who knows
Okay.
how, hopefully that lasts.
Hopefully it lasts. Yes, absolutely. This looks much better.
I did 3 quizzes today.
Yay! There we go.
Do I give it to you?
No, you just write it on the test. You just write the section on the test, which has the enriched stuff. If you don't and you want to show it to me after the test, that's okay too.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Hello.
They both.
So what you have to do is you have to match that 3 becomes tri. That 2 is a di. That's what. Does that make sense?
Since carbon has no number, it's just carbon. But
It's just carbon.
oxygen
Now,
has-
if you have, like you'll notice this one, there's a 1 here, and we don't have a prefix. We do write mono on the second word, but not on the first word. Okay? Yeah. Okay, just 1 second here. What letter is that? Io.
No, ionic. Isn't it ionic? Because it's what? It's I'm losing every 3 R's.
Sorry, I need to almost get you in the eye there.
Iodine. Oh yeah, iodine. No, it's a D.
Okay.
Iodine. Yay, we did it.
Hello. Yay.
And I won't be here tomorrow. I have an
Okay.
appointment.
Yay.
Excuse me, I'm probably right now.
Thank you guys. You were amazing today. You're like one of my best grade 9 classes. Yeah. Because, well, like, honestly, like, I have very few people in here who don't try, which is, like, very phenomenal. Because usually there's, like, a handful of people who don't try. Okay. Everything from that one, yes. Okay.
Okay, so I'm just gonna do the quiz like 5 minutes.
That's okay. It's okay, Kara. I'm always the last one ready. Like, I have to put things in and they won't go in and things and like, yeah. I understand. I understand. Sorry? Oh. Zoe forgot her phone. Are you gonna see her?
I will find her.
Okay.
I know where